Hello, welcome to my channel. I hope you're doing well on this beautiful spring day. I'm so excited that March is here because that means April and May are on their way. So I have a few things that I'd like to share with you that I'm making for Easter. And I kind of went with the grungy style, and I also did some, I don't know what you call it, what style you would call it, but maybe grungy, maybe primitive, I don't know for sure. This is a cute little egg journal that I'm going to show you. And inside the journal I have done some modeling paste sculpting with a stencil. And if you want to stick around, I will show you how to do that. Also, I'm going to explain to you how I made these little carrots, which I think are pretty easy and cute to do. And I did a couple simple eggs. This one has the molding paste on it and a carrot. And these are 5 inches tall by 3 1/4 wide. These are made out of paper and chipboard that I did. I put some glossy accents on his glasses. I thought that was kind of neat. And a little fuzz on his for a tail. And I do have the chipboard, plain chipboard for sale in my Etsy shop. And all you really have to do is print out your own graphics and then put your chipboard down on it and trace around it with a pencil and then cut it out and glue it. And I will tell you how I do the gluing myself. I take the paper and I use glue stick in the middle because it gives you more time to move things around. If you use tacky glue, when you put it down, it's pretty much stuck. So I use tacky glue for everything else. So what I'll do is I'll do most of it in glue stick, and then I do the edges with the tacky glue on both sides. Then I put it under a heavy book for overnight, and then they come out nice and straight. And so they're fun to do. You can see that this one, I added some crackle in the graphics to this one, but the difference, okay, and I made this on both sides. I don't know if I'm going to decorate it or not. And what I did with this was, let me see, move this out of the way. I have some of this netting. It's tulle with polka dots on there, and I love it. But I don't have it in a strip. I have it in big squares. So what I did, you can see it on the back here. I cut a strip, and I don't cut this stuff straight. So I did my best, you know. I just cut it wide, and I cut a couple strips. And what I did is I just glued and gathered. I used hot glue and gathered because if you use tacky glue, it takes too long to dry. So I glued and gathered. I use a silicone pad to, you know, to squish it together so I don't burn myself. And then when I was done gluing all the way around, I turned it around. I took my scissors and I just trimmed it to the way I liked it. Then I started decorating it from there. I put some of this coffee dyed eyelet trim on the bottom, and I like that. And then this is sari silk, and I made 2 sari silk bows, and I just kind of hit it with some vintage photo ink to give it more of a grungy look, more of a vintage look. And then I added this. So this is a nice ornament that can be hung on a tree, can be hung on your wall, can be hung anywhere, really, for Christmas, Easter. And then this one, oh, and I added a little glitter. I don't normally add glitter on things for my journal, but this is a ornament, so I thought, well, it's decorative. This one, I just put the coffee dyed eyelet lace on the back. I think it's about 1 inch. It might even be 3/4 of an inch. And I added some of this here, which is a fiber that I actually sell in my shop. So, and I love it because it's so easy to use. And the strips are very, very long. And I added a vintage piece of a doily here. And then I added sari silk all the way around. And I also did some molding paste sculpting. This is what I use, and it's on Amazon. I'll leave a link below for you. It's light and fluffy modeling paste, I should say, not molding, but modeling paste. And it works really well. I'm going to give you a little demonstration on how to use it at the end when I'm done showing you everything. So if you're interested to see how that's done, just stick around. So there you have that. Then I did this. I'm working on this is a little journal. I sewed around the front and the back cover. And then I made, how I made that is I took some file folder and I put my eggs next to on it. And I thought where they should meet, you know what I mean? So you will cut off, if you do it this way, you will cut off a little bit of the roundness on the egg that way. But it really works out well, you can see, because you have to be able to turn it. So if you want to do something like that, it's just very easy. And make your template, and there you have your pages, and then you can put them on your stenciled papers, which I did stenciled papers for this. If you have not seen how I do that, I'll leave a link below how to do this to your papers. It's really very easy and so much fun for Easter too. Here's some modeling paste. I don't know if you can see it. I took the stencil that I made this paper with and I put the stencil over it and used the modeling paste on it to give it a 3D look. And I did the same with this. And then I came back in and I inked the modeling paste. I just wanted to see what effect it would have. I also did some embossing, a little bit on here. I don't know if you can see it or not. On some of the pages, I just did a little bit of embossing. And here's some more of the modeling paste. Now that's not the same stencil for that design, but more modeling paste, and then I inked all this, colored it. I don't really like it. I just wanted to see what it would turn out like, you know. And I did some embossing here. And when I closed my book, I put these under big heavy books overnight so that they'll stay closed. The ink apparently wasn't completely dry because I have now prints on the other side that wasn't there before, but that's okay. So here's some more stenciling and some more embossing, more of the modeling paste, what is it called? Yeah, modeling paste. I'm going to put that in front of me so I say it right. And then I inked it just to see what it would look like, and I liked it. And here's some embossing to make the egg look more modeling. I only sewed around the front and the back on this one, and I did put modeling paste on this one, on the front and the back. I really didn't want to, I would have liked it to be whiter so you could see it, but I really didn't want to mess it up with ink, so I just kind of left it the way it is. And then this is I love this one. This came out so nice. This little journal. I printed this out, then I inked it with Vintage Photo. I added some flowers that I inked up. And when you open it, I put a bunny here, and I give him a little collar and a tail. And I put a couple little primitive tags in there. I thought they were cute. Little chickadees. And this is coffee dyed lace. I do sell all this lace in my Etsy shop, if you'd like to take a look. Oh, and here is, and on this page, I did the modeling ink. You can, or modeling paste. You can see, and then I added an applique. These are two different parts of an applique. They're total different design, but I thought they went well. And I just added a joyful user. I did sew around every single page here. And then there's some embossing here. And some embossing. This is actually, there's some hearts here. You probably can't see it, but it is. And then over here, I did a big modeling paste. And then I inked it up to, you know, have it go with the rest of the journal. And then over here is some coffee dyed lace, and I made this little guy, and I just added a little, you know, notebook type thing, flip out that you can write on. And here's more of the green fiber, and I really love that color. And then, you know, these are stenciled as well, like this here, but I did them all with coffee. Instead, this I did with those distress sprays. Very easy to do. You'll have to check out the video if you haven't seen it already. So all of these are stenciled papers. And then I made a little bunny here, a little pocket. And I used a stamp from, I believe it's Christina Hill, Leather and Lace, I think it's called, on Etsy. Add some trim and a little bunny, and you can write on the back. I made him strong. I put some cardstock on the back as well as he's printed on cardstock. And then this is probably my favorite place, because this is the bunny fur comes alive here. This fur, I only have one little piece of it. I had purchased a Christmas kit from Crafty Me Shop in December, and this came in that. I guess it was for the cuff of a boot, Christmas stocking or something, and I never used it. So it came in handy. I love the color. It's a light tan, light beige. It's so soft. And I took these vintage graphics that I bought and made them into this egg, and there you go. So, and here's more pages, empty pages for writing and lots of stenciling. And then I made this little cute couple here, and you can write on the back of them as well. They're nice and stiff. A little bit of lace there. And some more pages that you can write on. And then this last 2 pages are like that, and more of my green fiber and a graphic that I purchased. And I purchased this graphic as well. And the bunny has a tail, and this bunny has a tail. And I've added this to the spine. Now the cover is difficult to make. What I did is I cut out 2 of the front and the back cover. I didn't use this pattern. I used them separately, and then I took a piece of file folder and I cut it to 3/4 inches wide, and whatever this length is. What is the length? 2 1/4 inches long. I don't know if you can't see it really because I covered it up. But then I glued it inside the cover before I glued this on and before I glued that one on. And then I glued, I glued one side here. I also scored it. I scored it 1/4 inch on each side, which gives you, 1/4 inch left for your spine. I know it's kind of tricky to just tell you how to do it. I didn't think about putting it together and to show you. But it is tricky to do, and your cover, when I did it that way, my cover was shorter than my pages. So I just took some trim and added that. And that's a great way to cover up anything. I love scrapbooking, or junk journaling, I should say, because you can cover up any mistake. So this will be available in my Etsy shop for sale. And then, let's see, I showed you this guy. He's got some modeling paste on him as well. And on the back, I didn't do anything because I was waiting for that to dry, and I just added a seam binding bow. And this one, I added the glossy accents and some of that fuzz trim for his tail. And then I made this carrot. And I'll show you how I made the carrots after I'm done showing you these other things. Okay. Now this is a paper bag. And it is, I'm so glad I got my ruler here today, 6 by 9. And I made a journal to go inside. And I added carrots up here and a bunny here. I added some coffee dyed lace, some eggs, lace along here, applique, and a really kind of cute thing, or different I should say, is I just ripped up some paper and I stacked it, and then I added white dots with my paintbrush, just the end of a stylus I used, and grunged it up with some ink and added it there, and I think it looks really cute. I have a second bag that I did that to, and I did it in the pink. It didn't come out as bright as the green and white, and I added a rusty safety pin to the bow. I glued the paper down at the top. I glued them together at the top and glued it down, and then I just used a tea-dyed muslin bow and rusty pin. And over here I just have some extra lace. Oh, and these, somebody gave me some candy for my birthday in February. And these were the cups that they came in. And I said, oh my gosh, I got to use them because I really like them. So I cut them into 4s. I put one there, and I put one here, and I found an old button that I thought went well on both of them and just added that to it. But see, you don't have to be real fussy. I mean, I just added some coffee-dyed lace and some coffee-dyed lace here, and I popped this guy out to be 3D, and I just, you know, put it all together. I made this flower out of some scrap lace, and that's what you can do with that. Okay, so back to this, and this will have the journal in it, and I put some ripped paper and coffee-dyed paper there, or inked paper, yeah, no, not coffee-dyed, but inked, okay, and then this is the journal that comes with it, and she has a rose on each of her, on the hat, and this bunny, and here's more of the green fiber that I have, and a little late piece of crocheted pink doily that I cut apart, and then some coffee-dyed eyelet lace. Now, I did not decorate this very much, but I did decorate a little bit. Okay, so in here, I've added some tags of her. You get 2 of her. And this is a paper bag, but I folded it up so that you have 2 pockets here, and then a belly band here. So you can put other things like a note paper or whatever. And this is a little bunny that goes in there, bunny tag. And here. And then all the papers are the stenciled to kind of give it the Easter look. You know, of the coffee dyed, coffee stenciled, and then inked papers. Now there are, oh gee, I don't know. There's a lot of papers in here. It'll be listed. I'll list it on my Etsy how much. And then I just did this graphic and for writing, and I did one else here. And then in the back, you also have the same paper bag, belly band, couple of bunny tags back here that are inked, and have the bunny rabbit tail, the furry tail. And then these cute little ones are like from that Easter book, graphics that I used in the Easter book. And so you have 4 of these tags that go in there. So I think it would be a lot of fun to decorate this up with Easter memories, photographs, notes. Maybe your children are growing up and you want to recall that Easter 2022. And here is the mama, the bunny mama. She has her bunnies, and she's all dressed up in her Easter hat and her fur. So I think she's cute. Okay, so let's get on to how to make this carrot. I took a piece of brown paper bag, and you don't need a lot. That's probably too much. And I just started rolling it. Okay, so I put it down and I rolled it, and I'm squishing it at the same time because I'm wanting to mold it. And then after I rolled it, I start turning it together so you can see that it's starting to make some kind of a carrot shape. And then I glue, not with hot glue, but with my tacky glue. I glue it together. I cut off whatever I don't want. I know I brought scissors here. Yeah. I always lose stuff. Okay. Well, you can actually probably rip it. Nope. It's really strong after you put it together like that. But see, I would cut it there and I glue it here. And then I took some embroidery floss, orange embroidery floss, and I wrapped it, well, you know what, I have the floss. Let me go get the floss and show you how I started it, because that's the important part. Let's see, yeah, here, and I'll grab my scissors too. This is kind of tough because they're small. It's kind of tough to get them just, you know, to start on the bottom on the point. So say I'm going to cut it off like that. And remember, this would be glued, so it'd be very tight. I don't wrap until it's dried. But what I did down here, this would be more pointed by the time I got done with it. I know this is crazy, but maybe somebody else has a better way to do it. But this is how I did it. I take and I glue a piece of embroidery floss this way across, you know, this way. Hang on there. Like that. And then I glue another piece on this way after that's dried. So anyways, you glue it crisscross. One this way, one that way. And then you start at the bottom, but you leave a little strand up here so that you can hide that. And you just start wrapping. Wrap. And you want to wrap it nice and tight so it doesn't get away or show the bag. And actually doing it like that with the bag, it doesn't really show up that much, even if you've got some space in there. So you see how that's holding this down? So by the time you get to the top, that is totally covered and you have no ends to deal with when you get up here. And then I would come right to, say, the very, you know, like 1/8 of an inch away from the top. And I took some of my green fiber that I have here. Oh, these things are so long. Okay. And I just cut off a little piece like that. And then I put some hot glue there. But I don't glue all the way down, because if I want to, I was going to make them like on a tassel, to put on a tassel. And if you want a needle to go through here, you don't want it to have to go through hot glue. So I just put the glue on the very top and then mess with that and make it look the way I want it to look. And then I took my vintage photo ink and I just ran it in the ink. I didn't take a dauber or anything. I put this right on the ink pad and ran across it, and that kind of picks up those threads that are up higher than the rest and gives you a, you know, just a scattered kind of inking, which looks good because we don't want we don't want the carrot to turn completely brown, but at the same time we want to give it that grungy look. Okay, so I actually did that. Lots of times I want to tell you what I'm, show you something and I forget, and the video's over and I'm like, well, that's it. Maybe next time. So here we go. I'm going to show you. First I have to get the plastic, because you don't really want to do this on a surface that don't want to do it on a cloth surface. I actually have a metal table under here that I work on, but when I'm filming I put this tablecloth on it, so I don't want it to get on there. Okay, and I'm going to use black paper so that you can see. Alright, all you do is take a little bit of your modeling paste. You need this kind of a spatula, and you can get them probably at the dollar store, Michael's, Walmart, wherever. I've got a few of them. They're easy to pick up. So I've got the modeling paste on here, and I just put it on here and push. Now I'm not on a level, I don't know if it's going to work because I'm not on a level, but I'm going to show you anyways. Look at that. I'm not even on a level surface, and I just started. I'm going to take that out of there. I don't like it. Okay, And I'm going to do another one here. I'm going to take the rest of this. And you don't have to worry about it popping up, because once the molding paste is on there, these stencils stay right down. And sometimes I get a little heavy-handed because I'm like, oh, I want to make sure I got it all in there. And you really don't need to, because it really goes well. I just love this stuff because it's the easiest thing I've ever done, and you can do it on just about everything. Okay, so can you see? Everything is covered there. Okay, there are no holes or anything. And now I'm going to pick it up. Ha 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 ha. Look at that. Can you ask for anything better? And you saw what I did. Didn't take long at all. And it dries pretty quickly too. So, let me see if I can get my camera back now where it needs to be. Okay, and then I take a wet rag and I wipe off my spatula. And I also wipe off my, now I'm going to use the plastic for that. I don't want it on my tablecloth. Right away you should wipe up your stencils, because this does harden. And if it hardens sometimes, because I've done it, I've forgotten. I went on to do something else and come back and it's hardened inside the stencils. You really don't want that, because then you kind of got to pick it out and stuff like that. So just have a wet cloth with you, or a wipey or something, or just run it to the sink and get it cleaned up. My husband comes out and there's stencils in the drainer, not coffee cups. He never knows what he's going to find in the drainer. It's like, why are your stencils in our drainer? Oh, well, they're drying, you know. But he's used to it after 43 years. I guess it don't bother him anymore. Okay, so that's all I have to show you for today, and I hope you're having a wonderful spring, because spring is right around the corner. And I hope you check out my store, because I've got a lot of lace in there. And like I said, I'll have the Easter egg kits, the chipboard, so you can make your own eggs, decorate them, hang them, add them to your journals. Give them as gifts, put them in a basket, you know, have fun with that. I'm making this for a friend of mine in church, and I think it's going to be really unique. I don't know what else I'm going to do in it. I've been playing with this one too much to get to this one, but I will now. Okay, so here are some ideas for a grungy Easter and some fun. So I hope you'll check out my store, and if you like this video, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, I hope you will subscribe. Thank you for stopping by.